Hi everyone, I'm Daniel Jameson, the founder of JazzComposersPresent.com, an online space where composers, musicians, and listeners come together to celebrate the music we love. We live stream Composer Spotlight Masterclasses, listening sessions, Foundational Focus Masterclasses, roundtables, and artist Q&As. Presenting artists include Jim McNeely, Darcy James Argue, Rufus Reed, Einan Serto, Richard DeRosa, Miho Hazama, and many others. Visit our website to view our growing list of over 65 presenting artists. Become a Jazz Composers Present member today to participate in our full-length events. Annual tier members are granted access to our complete archived events library, home to over 175 events dating back to our founding in July of 2021. We're also thrilled to offer institutional partnerships with curricular integration at the post-secondary level. Composer Spotlight Masterclasses feature a presenting artist outlining compositional concepts contained within their own work by examining score and audio excerpts.
From the album that we did with Chris Potter with the Frankfurt Radio Big Band. The idea behind Rituals was to take the Rite of Spring and construct a piece that recreates the energy and the rhythmic impulse and the harmonic intensity. And open it up for jazz improvisation. Everybody is playing a pentatonic kind of the way they want to. They improvise very short staccato notes on those. And there's all 12 of the different pentatonics in there over a D flat pedal. And then the harp is playing this kind of odd scale that I devised, and then it builds up that way, and it leads to the big chord, which is on the next page of this graphic.
Listening sessions feature a presenting artist sharing clips of music they love that has interesting compositional elements. Alongside a host, the presenting artist explores audio excerpts and topics of interest contained within.
Helen Song is a magnificent musician, pianist, composer, and this is from her new album, and she's actually writing a lot of music written by women and notable women. And this piece we're going to listen to now is it's a great title, "Wrong Key Donkey." And Carla Bley, who is not as should be more well known than she is in a lot of situations, but she's pretty prolific and has been for years. But on this particular album, Helen Song, and it was just the whole album is tremendous. I think
it's called a Quartet Plus, I guess.
Quartet Plus.
Yeah.
This album is killing, and
right.
We could really listen to the entire thing, but this particular piece I thought would really work very nicely in this context.
Our Foundational Focus series features presenting artists exploring fundamental aspects of jazz composition and arranging using examples from the jazz canon as well as their own writing.
The first line there, you can see the repetition, you can see the rhythmic development, but considering the fact that this is most of the time that we're going to be thinking that this is going to be an 8-bar phrase or a 4-bar phrase, you can see his use of quarter notes are very intentional and leads us into measure 5. So this is from measure 4 to measure 5, but then it keeps going. And then the build up into measure 9, there you can see all those continuous eighth notes, and he doesn't quite stop. Even from a visual standpoint, if you're not like listening to this right now, from a visual standpoint, you can actually see that it's not just a pattern. It's not, looking like some sort of licks that he's playing. So we're going to listen to it and take a look at it at the same time.
Roundtables feature our core team composers and special guests in a group conversation about composition and other musical topics of interest.
A wild overrepresentation of really incredible Asian big band leaders. Not to say Miggy and Miho are right here, but there's also like so many more. And then you start adding in women like Erica Seguin, who was one of our hosts, and I'll talk about again later in the broadcast. It all starts with Toshiko Akiyoshi.
And then I just wondered if she had a lyrics to it or something like that first. And then I was kind of wondering, if you could actually sing with a Japanese lyrics, not the English lyrics, but Japanese, because we always have the consonant in every single word.
Right. Yeah.
And it sounds like a da 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 da. That's like how the Japanese people would speak.
That's right.
I listened to the intro joyfully so many times, trying to just like feeling the time signature, which there was not this thing of phrase wise, but it just felt like this melody that like that initial thing that repeats later. It just like, it's this really beautiful like unfolding of these organic phrases that are dictated by melody. And it was reminding me of just how important the line is, and just how powerful even just unison octave beautiful lines are in between all of this other stuff.
Interactive Q&As conclude all of our live events, affording viewers the opportunity to have their questions answered in real time by the presenting artist. Question is from Mark, who asks, when selecting the different row forms for use at various points in the piece, do you just start by experimenting, or do you have an idea of what characteristics you're looking for?
Another great question. So because it's a 12-chapter piece, the prime form for each chapter is the prime form that begins with the note in the original prime form that corresponds to that position. So for instance, chapter 0 begins with A, which is the first note of the row. Chapter 1, which you just heard, the quote-unquote tonic is E flat, which is the second note of the row. And so the prime form beginning on E flat is important to that chapter.
Visit our website for our complete upcoming events calendar and become a member today to watch our full-length live streams. Finally, each week we upload a free mini lesson to our YouTube channel featuring one of our fantastic presenting artists. When I founded Jazz Composers Present, the goal was to connect with peers, colleagues, and heroes, to give composers a platform to showcase their own writing, and to share music we love. I could not be prouder of what we have built, and I invite you to join our growing community.